Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Triumphant Show. I am your host tonight, Dr. Sherida Lovelace, and let me tell you, I am so excited about my show on tonight. Listen, well, our show, because we are a family. I know that you're going to be blessed. I was blessed meeting this young lady, and her bio, her information, who she is, speaks volumes. So I'm excited about it. But before we get started, I want to welcome you again to the place where victory repeats itself. As you see, I have my beautiful friend here, Monique, who is helping me to translate the show so that we can have everybody, these communities joining in together to be a part of the great things that God is doing through the lives of his people because he always gets the victory. This is the place where victory repeats itself. And as you all know, this show is based on scripture. It is a faith-based broadcast. We've been based on scripture with 2 Corinthians 2 and 14. But you know what? This year we switched things up a little bit. We are still based on the foundation of our faith, but God gave us Job 23 and 10. And it says, but he knows where I am going. And when he tests me, I will come out as pure gold. So I want you to hashtag your friends, your family, your mother, your sister, your cousins, your nephews, your nieces. I am coming out gold because it is just saying that no matter what you have gone through, what you might face later on this year, you're going to come out on top. You're going to come out wiser, stronger, better, greater, because great things are still happening here in the land of the living. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let me tell you, that's just such good news. Before I get into bringing my guest on the show on tonight, I want you to remember that you can follow us on Instagram at Sherida Lovelace. Made it real simple for you. Just look for my name, follow us on at Sherida Lovelace. And make sure if you are watching tonight, we are trying to build our subscribers. I don't do the best job at pulling people to subscribe and to follow and all that. I just say it and I leave it. And God has shown me people will watch and they may never subscribe, but the word is getting out. It's reaching the masses. Glory be to God, and evidence through the messages that I get. But I do encourage you to still subscribe and support here on YouTube so that you get the alerts and you stay connected, not just with the Triumphant Show, but the other things that we have going on when the Lord begins to speak, or we just want to share or give some encouragement. You can get it right here at S. Lovelace TV. And just remembering that this is the place where victory repeats itself. We don't believe that God is a God who fails. He doesn't lie. We believe that he's the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. That means that he's always a way maker, a miracle worker. He's doing great things for us. So be encouraged. Listen, I want you to know that if you or someone you know wants to be a guest this year on the show, send me an email. You may have a triumphant story to share, to tell. You may be an author. You might be in the industry. However the Lord has worked through your life, you may have gone from trauma, trial to triumph. We want to support you, hear about you, and share who you are. Send us an email at Sheridalovelaceministries. It's on the screen. You can also find it in the verbiage of the chat, of the post, and on my social media platforms. The email address again at sheridalovelace@gmail.com. And you can just find that on the postings, which will be a lot easier for tonight because I want y'all just to get ready for the guest as we get ready to move forward. Listen, I hope you're telling a friend right now because this is going to be an exciting show. I went to a community event some time ago, and you know, on this platform, we don't just interview artists, we interview the people. God's people that have a triumphant story. And so I met this beautiful young lady, loved her spirit. She had an event that night I could not make it to, but I wanted to make sure that I connected with her because I wanted to bring her onto the show because I believe she has a triumphant story. And I love what she's doing. I love the accomplishments that she has been doing, and she's made no excuses about it. She just keeps going. And I know that her ladder will be greater than her past. But let me read some of of her bio to you because it's amazing. So as I read her bio, at a certain point, I'm going to stop. So I want to bring her on and begin asking her questions. There's just so much to talk about. We may not get to everything on this show. So you know what that means? We're going to have to invite her back. I know. I'm excited too. I know. But we're going to get to as much as we can within this hour. So tell a friend we want to support her, especially when you begin to hear the things that she's doing for us. But this is Briana Johnson. We're going to be bringing on to the platform today. She was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. And at the age of 4, her mother was told by her pediatrician at Scottish Rite Hospital that she was deaf and born that way. This was devastating news to most of my family, but get this, but not to her mother. We're going to talk about that. So here we hear something in the hospital, but mama is like, it's going to be all right. Everybody else is devastated, but not mama. Y'all stay tuned, okay? So she was amazed. This is mama now, that she could talk with her family, Briana, and her friends and teachers for 4 years and did not know that she was deaf. Amazing. Her mother was the only person who did not cry or exhibit any pity towards her. She instead told her that being deaf was a beautiful thing and that she was created in the image of God and that all things are possible for her. And she told her that she was beautiful, blessed baby girl who can be and do all things through Christ who strengthens her. Y'all, I'm already getting chills. I'm just loving this. That's where her stage name came from, Beautiful. That's where the stage name comes from. We'll get into that as well. The name was inspired by her mother's encouraging words and support. And since then, she's lived by those words every day. Later on, her mom formed a children's gospel group called Dear Children, where her mother taught children to sing and dance and the word of God. She assisted in the choreography of some of their performance routines. Now, Dear Children was a local children's gospel singing group that performed throughout Georgia. This is where music, dancing, and performing became a strong passion for her. She began to write music, recorded in the studio, y'all. Y'all hear me? So much. I'm going to skip a little bit because when I bring her on, we're going to talk about more about this. But let me tell you, she earned a full academic scholarship and earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree in government law from Gallaudet University. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Um, she was crowned Miss Black Deaf America 2009 to 2011. Shout out to the pageant queens. I am loving this. We're going to talk about that. But listen, she used her platform to advocate for my beautiful deaf culture. She's been blessed with the opportunity to travel to several states to perform for Deaf Nation Expo events, Apollo in New York City, National Black Advocates Banquet, and much more. She says, I want the world to know about deaf community and to learn sign language so that we all can be included in every conversation and activities as well. This is how the birth of her dance company, Sign Dance, was formed. In 2018, Sign Dance was formed, and the motto that states, let's groove to the beat and learn sign language. I am loving this, y'all. Um, it's through music and the dance company that she continues to spread awareness about the deaf community, as well as bridge any gaps between the hearing and the deaf community as well. Y'all, without further delay, I want to bring on my beautiful anointed guest, Miss Briana, beautiful the artist. Let's bring her in.
Hi.
Hey, there we are. Let's get this together. There we are. Y'all see her? She's right there. Hi, Brianna. Welcome to the Triumphant Show.
Thank you. Hi.
So happy to have you. And we're just happy that you had the time with all that you're doing, that you had the time to come on the show on tonight. Listen, I want to ask you, start with some questions. So, when you were born, there were 4 years of your life that your mother didn't even realize that you were hearing impaired, that you were deaf. How did you all maneuver those first 4 years of your life? Because the hearing community or someone like me is saying, well, how did she do that? I want people to understand and know how that happened before you all met with the pediatrician when you were 4 years old.
Well, yes, it's interesting how it happened. I remember being young and before 4 years old, I remember telling my mom, I hear voices inside my head. And I remember speaking that to my mom and telling her, I hear voices inside my head. And she she thought maybe I was sick or she thought maybe something was wrong. So she took me to every doctor in Atlanta and they said I was fine. They said they couldn't find anything. And they did a test. I remember experiencing so many different kinds of tests.
Yeah.
And the last place we went to was got us right, the doctor's office. And the doctor just looked at my mom and she was like, your daughter is deaf. She has hearing loss. That's all. And my mom was just like, what? And there's no one in my family that's deaf. I'm the only one. So from there, my mom was like, this is a blessing. Like, it's amazing. So that's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm amazed because the fact that, some mothers, maybe not as stable as your mother, may have panicked. What do I do? And how did this happen? And we're fine. Or they would blame it on themselves. Is it something about my health? Something that I did? And here, your mom, she
Hmm.
didn't fret. She was like, "No, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're about to take the world by storm and do this." Does your mother still cultivate that within you to this day? Do you feel that because that being instilled in you at such a young age, that has made you strong in the midst of your circumstances?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Um, my mom, wow, she's amazing. I, I think because of that experience and because of finding out that I'm a deaf person, um, her confidence influenced me and that developed me as a woman to become who I am today. She impacted me in so many areas of my life, like when it came to school. She told me just because you have hearing loss does not mean you can just, not work as hard as you supposed as you need to. You need to work 3 times as harder. You know, he never took any excuses. If I tried to say, well, my hearing aid didn't work, she's like, well, fix it. We're gonna go to the doctor. We're gonna get it fixed, and you're gonna be the best of the best. She didn't let me become lazy. Um, my mom, she just made sure that she developed that area because she knows how this world is. She knows it's a very, very tough place. And anytime there's like a label, um, anything, anything is wrong with a person, um, people tend to like look down on people that have a disability or have something wrong with them. They don't support that. So my mom made sure that I developed that at an early age to be able to have that confidence. And she knew I would face things in life. She knew it. But because of that process, it made me, it helped me to overcome those situations.
Now, and I love how you're explaining that. Was there a time that you said at your young age, before your accolades began, that you said, I wish I could just hear like everybody else and talk like everybody else? Was there a moment in your life where you had, I'll say, a meltdown, and you felt challenged when you were younger? If you did, how did you handle that?
Yes, I did. In school, I got picked on so bad. I got bullied really bad. I didn't have many friends. So I think because of that, that made me very aggressive to the point where I had to prove to people
Mm, mm, mm.
just because I have hearing loss, um, no, you're going to pay attention to me. I'm going to do what I need to do to be a part of this. So my passion was always um, to dance, music. My mom, she taught music. She taught dancing and music. So that was a part of me, like from a young age. And I remember in middle school, I wanted to audition for the cheerleading team. And the coach, he told me no. You can't do it because you're not normal. So that added, more fire inside of me, to like, no, you're not going to tell me no. So what I did was made up my own routine and my own cheer. And I went to the practice myself and I said, no, I'm going to audition for this team because I want to be a part of this team. And um, I showed the girls, I showed the coach what I could do. And from there, she was like, okay, well, because you have hearing loss, I'm just going to give you a chance. Still, I had to prove myself, you know. And I remember also trying to audition for the dance team. And I did the same thing. I made the team, but I was there to like prove a point to let people know the people who are coming up after me, they won't have to experience this because I've already overcame it. So now you guys will have to accept the next step person that wants to be a part of this team. So I believe through those tough situations, I was paving the way um, to leave that legacy for the next generation. So,
I love your strength.
mhm,
I love your push and your drive to say, you're not going to tell me no. You're not going to stop what I know that I can do. Not
mhm,
only that, you said, I'm going to show you that I can do that. And I want to applaud your mother right now and shout out to your mother and any other family member that continues to support and undergird you as you go through life and do all that you've done. Because I do believe that words carry power,
mhm,
and the words that were given to you, however delivered they were, whether they were delivered by sign language, whether they were delivered in a letter, whatever it was, it carried enough power to make you act upon something and realize how great you are. And I hope tonight that that's encouraging somebody watching the show tonight. That if you know someone that you assume can't, believe me, they probably can. And they probably can do it better than you expected. And we have an example on this show tonight, and her name is Briana Johnson. And she is demonstrating that despite what people are looking at as a disability with her hearing, she is making moves and moving mountains. And Briana, with that, I love the fact about choreography and music. With you, I know you read lips as well. And sidebar for anyone that's watching the show tonight, you can definitely turn on closed captioning in order to read and know what we're saying on tonight. But Briana, with music and choreography, because I'm a choreographer as well, so this is exciting for me. You sense the beat? Do you hear some of the sound a little bit? How is it that you move? Is it the vibration? I want people to understand how you put movement together because you started that as well when your mother had the group that you started called Dear Children, the gospel group here in Atlanta, and you began to put movement to that. How did you do that?
yes, really it started from the music group, Dear Children. It My mom, what she did was taught me how to count music. So
Ah,
basically, meaning the beat is there like if it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, and I will follow that. So she taught me how to count the beat first, and then she taught me how to feel the beat, which is putting my hand on the speaker to feel and count at the same time. And then to actually listen, to make sure that I listening is equivalent to feeling the beat. So
okay.
I would make sure I could feel it and listen at the same time inside of my body. So once I have that in, I'm able to come up with a choreography with the music. And I also want to add one of my favorite scriptures is Philippians 4:13, where it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So anything I set my mind to do, I know I can do it, but it's not through my own strength, it's through God's strength who helped me, do what I need to do. So when it's coming up with choreography, it can be challenging. It can be very challenging, but it's a mental thing. So you have to like, I have to visualize the movement and what I want to do. Um, if there's words to the music, I try to express that through my dance movements. I try to incorporate sign with it. I mean, it's just a beautiful art, you know. And now I'm trying to share that with everyone who come to my dance class to make sure they can understand my world, you know.
Mm-mm. I love it. I love and I love how you say understand my world. That's even for us in the hearing community. Some of us that walk in the faith, some of us that walk, in other ways or how we handle our life. We want people to come into our world to experience whatever that is. And so I love how you do this. What is amazing to me, Briana, is that one, your mother and how she trained you to understand and to feel and to sense and to lay your hands in one place, etc. Was your mother trained by professionals to develop you as a hard of hearing child, to give tools and resources to you to help you in these areas?
That's an amazing question. No, um, like I mentioned, I'm the only deaf person in my family, so this was the first time my mom ever met a deaf person. Me as her first child. Yes, yes. So everything was new for her, and I know she was led by God to actually teach, to know how to communicate with me, to teach me music, to tell me things, to develop my character, to develop me as a person. So I know she was led by God, like 100%. I don't, I know it was no one else. The reason why I say that is because during that time, growing up, there was not much information given to my mom after she found out I was deaf. They just told her, oh, put her in a deaf school. And my mom was like, well, that's a good idea, but at the same time, I want to know more. Like, I need more information about the deaf culture. It was not much information during that time. So my mom just prayed about it and she did what she knew best. She put me into a hearing school and she wanted me to experience everything that I could, everything, meet hearing people. If I did meet deaf people, that was great as well. But she wanted me to have that exposure in the world, like 100%. And yeah, I don't think she didn't she didn't learn from anyone. It was only God. It was only God that allowed her to help me.
I, I'm just blown away over here. Excuse me. I am blown away, but I'm loving this because it's powerful. Family, if you're listening tonight, we are just hearing the miraculous moves of God, of how He will equip us. He will equip us to carry forth an assignment, even an assignment we didn't ask for, an assignment we didn't expect. He will equip us. And that's why when people tell other people that they cannot, I'm with you, Briana. I'm like, yes, I can. Yes, we can. Oh, okay. I didn't go to school for that, but I can do that. I wasn't sure about this, but I can do this. I'm loving how you're saying, yes, I can do. This is amazing about your mother. Let me ask this. With the senses of your hearing being gone, are you able to, or let me say it like this, are there other senses more strengthened? I hear people that cannot see, they say they hear better. Is that opposite for you? Not hearing, do you have a stronger visual or a stronger keen sense of smell or anything of that nature in your situation?
Yeah, so the kind of hearing loss I have is called sensory neural
Okay.
hearing loss. That's like the lowest, like of the lowest to be able to hear anything. Um, I do wear a hearing aid. When I take my hearing aid off, I hear nothing. I don't hear anything. In my right ear, I'm completely deaf, and in my left ear, I wear a hearing aid. Um, I would say I do remember the doctor telling me when they found out that I was deaf, they said I would never be able to speak. I would never be able to use the phone. I would never be able to communicate with anyone. But as you can see, that's a lie. It's not the truth. But I'm thankful that I experienced this. I'm thankful to that I have hearing loss because I'm able to show the world that even though you're born a certain way, God knew you before you was
Yes.
born. He
Yeah.
already knew. So it's no mistake. It's no mistake. And one thing that I don't really agree with is when the world puts a like a cap or a label or say just because you have this, you can't do this,
Right.
this, this. You can't. You can't. You might have to work
Right.
harder. You might have to do extra work, but that's fine as long as you're able to do it. You have to do it. If you want to. If you want to. So yeah, my hearing loss is labeled sensory
Okay.
neural hearing loss. Yes.
I love that. And despite all of that, and all of that growing up, and just how your life has been developing, cultivating so beautifully, as your name is, you became Beautiful the artist. You have a dance company, Sign Dance Company. Um, you have a full academic scholarship. Let's talk a little bit about, let's go from the scholarship, and I also want to go to the pageant as a pageant girl. I want to go to the pageantry. You have a degree. Now, is the school, am I pronouncing it correctly? Gallaudet, Gallaudet University?
Got
Okay.
that. Yes.
And so you got a degree in government law. You're done with that. Yay!
hmm
Okay. Have you competed in other pageants aside from Miss Black Deaf America?
Yes, I have, and what is it? Miss DC. I've won Miss
Wow.
DC, and then I went up to Miss Black Deaf America. After that, I did join Miss Deaf Georgia, where I was first runner up for that one. And then I transitioned to a hearing pageant where I joined. I didn't win, but I was able to have that
Right.
experience. So yeah, I've tried different kind of pageants after that.
And I love in your bio, it talks about advocating for the beautiful deaf culture in the pageantry, in your whichever category that you want to share. How did you feel you advocated for this? Was it during Q&A? What was your talent at that time? And have all the pageants you've done been all hard of hearing pageants?
Yes, yes. So it was a mixture, hard of hearing
Okay.
and deaf involvement in this pageant. Um, my platform was where I talked about the success of being deaf. Um, Basically, I just talked about people who have overcome different tough situations that I admire. Um, and it was basically trying to empower the young women that were motivated to join pageants for their next time to be a part of it. Um, my talent, of course, was dancing. I love dancing. So, yeah, there was dancing, and we also had to do an interview on stage. Now, I don't remember the questions, but yes, it was a beautiful experience. It was a very beautiful experience, and we were able to open up doors for me to have a platform where I can deliver my message, tell my story, be able to empower other young women, be able to do workshops, be able to interact with the youth, older people, people, my peers. It was just amazing, an amazing experience. I was able to travel to different states to do a speech, to perform, and that also opened the doors for other performing opportunities for me as beautiful the artist as well. But not only that, I was just able to just spread the gospel, spread my message, to just empower as many people as I can, so that whatever they took from my experience, they can impart that into their lives and be able to accomplish their goals as well.
That is
So
awesome. Family, if you're just tuning in, we are talking to Briana Johnson. She is sharing some of the details of her life. We have a beautiful interpreter on, Monique, who we'll get to a little bit later towards the end so that you know how they're connected. And we're just hearing about her life as a deaf, hard of hearing individual. And I want to say deaf. Is that correct? Just to say deaf, Briana?
yes, it's deaf and
Okay.
hard of hearing.
Okay. Good. Awesome. I want to ask this: how do we, as the hearing community, what do we need to know to better support and serve deaf and hard of hearing individuals at any age? What do we need to know?
Number one, be involved.
Mm,
Get to know the deaf community. Another thing is what most people, what they don't know, they tend to shun away from it because they've heard things about this specific group of people. I would say don't believe that until you actually be a part of the community yourself. Also, learn sign language. There's so many ways you can learn. There's so many ways you can be a part of the community. We have resources. Um, it just, I want the hearing community to collaborate with the deaf community because we miss out on so much. Like, for example, movies. There's no caption in the movies. Why? We miss
wow.
out on so much. And different events that they have in the city. People who are organizing these events, why aren't there any interpreters provided automatically for the deaf people that probably want to attend, but they can't because there's no communication access there? So things like that, little things like that, just try to include everyone. you know, Make sure the place is wheelchair accessible. Make sure there's caption provided. Make sure you have interpreters on site. When we go to the hospital, we have the biggest struggle, and that's serious because they don't provide interpreters. You know, so that's my goal to try to spread the word through um, my messages, through my dance classes, through my performances. I try to encourage as many hearing people to please include us. We want to be a part of it. We're here for a reason, and that's my mission. I just want to make sure we're all together. Um, you can show us things, what we need to learn. We can help you as well. So it's just like we're helping each other. So yeah, we definitely have to bridge the gap, and it just starts with us. If you're having an event, just make sure you provide that access for everyone.
And I am absolutely loving once again how what you're saying to us, because it's convicting some of us, and it's reminding some of us, listen, when we say, Lord, enlarge my territory, the Lord is saying, wait a minute, if I enlarge your territory, is that inclusive or exclusive? Are you
Hmm.
including everybody or you're not? I listen or I watch or I see postings of different panels and groups and questioning who's accepted and who's not. And I'm thinking, there are so many entities that we are not embracing and including, yet you're wondering why your message is not going out.
Yeah.
Have you sought the Lord to find out what really it is? Because it's really not always the people, it's us that carry the vision where
Mm-hmm.
we only got almost all the information of how to carry it out.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight, you're reminding us, those of us that say, enlarge my territory and come and understand why this isn't at the church or whatever. You're reminding us tonight to say, have I thought about all bases in my vision? Have I thought about including everybody? Have I thought about people that I assume have a disability? But wait a minute, maybe they're the ones to catapult me into my next. I need them there. There's another support system. So I thank you for being so forward and direct with that. I remember when I moved to Georgia from California, the first church that I went to as a member was Antioch Baptist Church North on Northside Drive. And they had a sign ministry there. So during church services, they did sign there as well. And even before I got here, I learned the alphabet because in schools back in California, we had to learn that. But if you don't keep going or don't include it, you forget it. And then you'll still go to churches that may not have that. When it comes to resources, they're really out there. And I realized that coming to the community event that I met you at. Share with them where these resources are located because I don't want people to have no excuse about, I don't know where to start. Where would you tell them to start? I don't care if it's a church, a ministry, a group, a podcast, a television show. Where would somebody start? They say, you know what? I want to make sure I have an interpreter or someone to connect in my organization so that I become more inclusive. Where would they start?
Yeah. Yeah. So I would suggest, we have different organizations. One organization that I was a part of is National Black Deaf Advocates. Also, it's another company that I do work for. It's called Purple Communications, where we provide interpreting services. Um, it's just so many different organizations that you can contact and reach
Google.
out. You can Google. Yes, yes. You can Google and you can type interpret it, and it'll pop up. The information is
Yes.
there. Like I mentioned before, like during the time when I was growing up, that information was not provided. Now there's no excuse.
Yeah.
You know, we have internet and it's there. It's accessible.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm just encouraged tonight, even as pressing forward and going to other events, and I'm going to be looking around to see how inclusive that they were. I might be like, Briana, they didn't have one. Okay, let me get off my little soapbox here. But your company Sign Dance, I want to get to that. Um, that the motto is let's groove to the beat and learn sign language. Give us an example of what a rehearsal is like coming to Sign Dance, or what a performance is like for those that are of the hearing to come to an experience.
Yeah. So I try to make my dance classes as fun as possible. Basically, what I start with is an introduction. Everyone introduce themselves, and then I ask if you know sign language. If you don't, if you do, I try to like break the ice. So I try to do like a little game where I teach ABCs, the signs, the alphabet,
Mm.
ABCs, and then I try to teach everyone to spell their name. It's really fun. I try to make it as fun as possible because I don't want my dance classes to be the same as others. I want to include everyone. And I know there are some people who never, um, maybe have never seen sign language before, or have never have been in a room with a deaf person. So I try to break the ice. And then after that, I teach the dance with music and sign together. Um,
Mm.
and then we just have so much fun. It's very, very fun. Um, and then not only that, another thing I include is cash prizes. So we do like a name drawing, and if your name is pulled, I give you like a cash prize. We have three. And we have food, um,
I'm coming
games.
next time. Food. Okay.
Yes, come out.
Just
So yes, it's really fun. And then we practice together with the dance, and then I record everyone, and we just mingle after that and exchange information. I want everyone to just have that full experience. The hearing people, deaf people, we're all interacting together. I'm learning sign language, and my prayer is that the people who come to my class, they bring other people, they
Mhm.
spread the word, to come to the next one. So, and I want to add my next class is in June. So I'll be releasing that soon. So,
Okay, perfect. I love it. Now you also rap and you there's some acting going on. Tell us a little bit about that experience for you.
yes, so music is my passion. I write my own music. Um, I try to make my music a story, to
Mm.
express, what I'm thinking, what I see. It all started, like I said, from my mom. Music is just it's a way for me to release from the world
Yeah.
and just to just write whatever I'm feeling. And I go to the studio. That can be challenging because I have hearing loss. It's hard for me, but I made it work. You know what I mean is with the headphones. When I put the headphones on, and it causes my hearing aid to like ring, and make a noise. So I have to kind of like, and then finally it works. So yeah, music, rapping, acting. I've started to get in there. I'm trying to get my foot in the door, but I have experience as I'm a background actor. Um, I did shows like Screen 3,
Mm.
um, Star, just to name a few. It was a good experience. I didn't have an interpreter on set with me. However, the only reason for that is because it's very, very strict.
Yeah.
They're very strict. But they knew that I was the only deaf person on set, but I made sure I had the access there. Um, so yeah, that's how it's still going. It's still going.
That's
So
beautiful. Speaking of interpreters, how did you and Monique connect? Because she's awesome.
yes, yes. So we connected at an event, a deaf event, and I remember meeting her, and she had like this booth, and she was explaining about her organization, which is called Learn Play Sign LLC.
Mm.
And it's like from there, I just wow, we're connected. Like her passion for the deaf community is just amazing. I mean, she tries to bridge the gap as well, and we basically have the same vision.
Yeah.
So we connected, and we've been working ever since. Want to add anything, Money? Yes, we're best
Yeah,
friends.
Monique, yeah, and Monique, please email me or through Briana your information. So when I do my posting of the show, I really want to make sure you're included in that as part of this experience with our triumphant family, because this is just wonderful. So how do we connect and follow with you? I want to make sure we know that you have something coming up in June, sign dance. Listen, if I'm free, I'm there. I'm going to bring some people with me. But we want to make sure that we get the word out about not just that, but the different things you're doing or just to follow you. Share how we connect with you, how we need to support you through social media. Um, as we move forward into this year, because I really want to make sure that people know who you are. I even want to make sure that if there's independent artists or other artists that need a, what do they call it? Um, I forget what it's called, but when they're doing a song, not a tag. when they're doing a song and they have somebody come in and rap it or sing it or dance it or whatever. Um, I
Mhm.
forget the name I'm thinking of. Y'all forgive me. But anyway, I want to make sure that people know
Feature,
like
feature.
it's a feature, but it's another name for it. But anyway, to be able to know that they can contact you and see if you're available, if something you're interested in, if they have an event coming up, I want them to know to connect with you. And even Monique, I want to do our part of the Triumphant show to make sure that we keep highlighting you as a resource, but also for you to keep speaking because you speak at schools, you speak to other people, children. I think I saw something, it's been several weeks back, of a school you went to or something. And the fact that you're just getting the message out there to bridge the gap between the deaf and the hearing community, this is something we need to keep going on with. So share with us how important your social media sites are or a website. We want to make sure that we hear that from you, and anything you want to add into that in terms of that support that you need.
Yes. So yes, you can follow me on Instagram at beautiful the artist. It's one word together. Also, you can follow me on YouTube, beautiful the artist. All of my videos, my music is there.
Mm.
I'm soon releasing a new video soon. Should be about 3 weeks. So I hope everyone enjoys it. You can also um, follow my website at signdance.com. Um, Also, you can follow my other website at unisex love.
Mm.
I'm sorry, unisex love fragrance.com
Mm.
as well. Um, all of my information is there. It's just I'm hoping that everyone that follows me is able to spread the word. I'm trying to get my music out there. I hope that you guys enjoy my music, my videos. Just like, share, spread the word.
I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Listen, y'all, tonight we've been talking to Briana Johnson. Love her story. Love how her life began. Love the conversation in terms of the impact her mother has made and still makes in her life. I love her. I'm not settling for mediocre character. I love the fact that she knows that everything is possible because of her heart for God, her passion for God, her and her mother knowing where their source comes from. That truly the scripture, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I tell you, we overlook sometimes that scripture because we think, oh, we know that. But let me tell you, I can do all things. Doesn't mean that I'm a able body. It just means that whatever form God makes me, I can still do it all. Try me. And so we release that to you tonight, that you take on the spirit that all things are possible, miracles are possible. Just hearing this anointed, beautiful young lady speak about her journey, about what's coming, and the plethora of things she has already done in her young life is just amazing, from winning pageants to competing, to having a full academic scholarship. She's been at so many things. She's traveled. Apollo in New York City, the National Black Community Black Advocates Banquet, Deaf Nation Expo. There's so much. It's just amazing. And then to have the Sign Dance company, and this just starting from, knowing that there was a mother there that was like, oh no, we no excuses today. And that's why I say, okay, she was bullied, but guess what? She blessed. She's blessed. She overcame that. She came through it. And so I believe that somebody is getting blessed on tonight by what she's sharing, and it's just amazing about that. And so what's coming up for you at this point? I know you have the event in June. What's your heart's desire next? Is it just for the music? Do you want to just keep speaking and just see where it takes you? And is there anything else that maybe is in your heart that you haven't shared before?
Yes, I do have a few performances coming soon. I will be posting about that soon. My vision is to continue doing what I'm doing now. Um, Spreading the word, spreading the gospel, spreading the word about the deaf community. Um, I also want to add that, like I said, I have a video coming out soon.
That's right.
It's for my new song. It's called Definitely Lit. It's basically spotlighting, different deaf creators on Instagram or Facebook, where, well, I can't tell you the video yet, but you see. But basically, I'm just spotlighting other people so that the people who are watching the video can follow them as well. I just want to put the word out there about our beautiful community, and I just want people to know that we're here. We're here, and I want to continue to do what I'm doing, and it's all for God. I know that He put me here for a reason, and that's to spread His word, and that's to do His will. Period. It's not about me. It's not about the fame. It's not about none of that. It's not about none of that. It's to give all the glory to Him and to make sure that I'm able to walk and actually do His will. Make sure I'm doing it correctly. So I just thank God for this opportunity. I thank you so much for having me here. Every opportunity is a blessing. Everything that I'm a part of is a blessing. And I'm just forever like grateful, like thankful.
Mm.
Yes, I really appreciate it. And just follow me on Instagram at Beautiful the Artist.
Y'all hear that? Follow her. As soon as we end this broadcast, family, I need you to follow Beautiful the Artist on Instagram. Follow, follow, follow. Support her. Send her a special message. DM her. Keep posted of the events, her video. Even if it's not for you, I know you know somebody that wants to know, see, or whatever. Resources, whatever. Google it. If you can't ask her, Google it. Get connected and support this brilliant, beautiful, anointed woman of God. We are honored to have you on the show, Briana. Thank you so much. I love the name Beautiful the Artist, y'all. That's what we call her, Beautiful the Artist, but y'all know I'm old, so I call her Briana. But and thank you, Monique, too, for coming and interpreting. This has just been an amazing experience for me. Listen, I want to say that when I met Briana, and we're about to wrap up tonight, I think I did a post and I asked everybody to tell me, is this right? What this means, right? So
Yeah,
nobody
that's
answered me,
right.
family. I need y'all to answer my post. It was just on Instagram though. But is this I love you? Yeah. Okay. And
Yes, I
right.
love you.
So nobody knew. So if y'all find the post, I need you to go back and say what it means. Okay, that's the way we spread love. But I was trying to get people to talk, etc., because I knew that the Lord was going to allow me to reach out to her to come onto the show. So if you see this, we're not saying hang loose or anything else. We're not doing West Side from Cali or nothing like that. We're doing I love you. This is the sign for it. So listen, you learned something tonight. Show love to one another. Show love to Briana. Show love to Monique. Show love to Triumphant family and friends. And make sure that you share this broadcast. Make sure that you put your comments in the chat. I see all of you. God bless every one of you that's making comments and that are watching the show, and to those that will catch the replay from the show in days to come. So thank you so much, everybody that has come on the show tonight. Listen, that wraps up our triumphant program for tonight. That's a wealth of information, but we're going to have to digest that in because it was a lot of great stuff. I feel like I can just go lay prostrate and pray to the Lord right now, just thanking Him for people like Briana that say, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Somebody better ride on that this week. That you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. And guess what? Briana is our example. She's our proof. And Monique made it clear for us if you weren't sure. Okay. Okay, God bless y'all. Listen, we'll be back here same time, same place next week as we begin another triumphant broadcast. Briana, Monique, thank you all for joining the show. Make sure you send me the information via email. Monique, I want to make sure I do a post tonight of your involvement on the show. God bless you, Briana, for all that you're doing. May He continue to cover you with peace, continue enlarge territory, and may He continue to equip you everything that you need as you move through the industry, whether it's music or dance, whatever it is, even pageant coaching. I'm going to bring that in there for some reason to help other young people begin to stay strong in their self esteem and not using their situation as a disability, but the ability to shine light on the kingdom of God and shine light and to prove what God can do. Because I just believe that that's how our God does it. He always gets the last word. He has the final say, and his promises are yes and amen. So thank you, Monique and Brianna, for coming on the show tonight. I'm going to pull you off really quick. God bless you all. Let me pull Monique back on. I know she was signing for me. God bless everybody for joining the show on tonight. I want you to be reminded that if you know someone that wants to be a guest, send us an email at Sheridalovelaceministries. I want to cover up Sheridalovelaceministries at gmail.com. Can y'all tell I'm not used to having an interpreter on the screen? I'm loving it. Glory be to God. And make sure you follow us at Sherida Lovelace and support my guest on tonight for her transparency, her boldness. Just a blessed show. Listen, we love you. We'll see you next week, same time and same place with another amazing guest. God bless you. And we love you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. We'll see you next time.